Okay, so this is going to be something new. I haven't really uploaded anything to this channel that's a game for a while, and being honest, Orcs Must Die really isn't my game right now. I still love it, I still want to go back and finish it, but I need to do other stuff, and right now, those of you who've been following me know I've been mostly doing streams over at twitch.tv. Go check that out. I'm doing it like every day, every other day, whenever I can. And I've got a bunch of games that I'm working on. But for now, I want to give you guys, I've been playing a little League of Legends lately. I'm not that great, I'm trying to get better. Because if I'm going to be playing anything, I might as well get better at it. So this was a normals game, draft pick. I'm not that great, but I wanted to play Cat. She's the character I'm trying to get better at right now. And she was first picked by the enemy team. Now I was last picked. First two picks on my team, neither of them had Cat. So it wouldn't have mattered because that enemy Cat was first pick. She picked one of the easiest characters to counter pick. I'm not going to argue it. I don't have that many mids. I really should if I'm playing draft. I don't know why House Graves and Soraka are up here, but they go back down. I told them not to worry about it. Malphite and Jax honestly should have been in the bush to defend. Let me turn the vision back to just us. You know, I'm just there to leash. We probably should have done Wolves. Heimerdinger has an amazing damage on Wolves early. He has his W. It hits 3 targets. Whatever. So I picked Heimerdinger as a counter to Cat. As someone who plays Cat lately, I would not want to be fighting him. He won't really have a lot of killing potential early on, and not a lot's going to go on. I'm going to miss a bunch of CS because I'm super rusty with him. But that's about all there is to this. Cat really can't go in on Heimerdinger. Early game she's very weak, and then even after that he can just stun her if she Shunpo's on. Pop his ult, slow her down. It's not a place you want to be as Katarina. So he's not the best character anymore, but I still enjoy him. He has his strengths and weaknesses, and look at that, I've already got her down to half health just from my W poke. You want to poke whenever she gets close enough to be prioritized. And you see how I put my turret back there? That was because I wanted to keep it away from pushing my lane. Heimerdinger is a very strong pusher. He's probably the strongest push champion in mid. I move it here because it's off cooldown. I've got a little bit more control. I'm not that worried about Cat right now. Look at, she's had to pop her pot. She's at less than half health. I can't really capitalize on that. I've been prioritizing my W. I don't even have my stun yet. But I move it down there because I'm afraid of ganks. And we weren't entirely sure what was going on. Warwick and Lee Sin, neither of them had Smite. But we did later find out that Warwick was jungling. And I wanted to have one side that I felt more confident on. And that's something you need to do as Heimerdinger. Your turrets are not offensive, they are very much defensive. You need to place them in places where you can protect yourself with. Because if you put them up too far, all they're going to do is push your lane out, not let you get CS, and they're going to keep you entirely open for ganks. But if you pull them back to the side, they make up for a lot of Heimerdinger's weaknesses, which is that he has no mobility, no escape. He needs to be left alone. So you put your turrets back to the side, and you'll be able to keep yourself safe. Now, Heimerdinger can't really do much, Cat can't really do much right now. I haven't seen my jungler in mid, he's been helping top. I haven't seen Warwick at all. So this is kind of just farming, and like I said before, you know, right now I'm feeling a little pressured. I think I wanted to back, or I was starting to decide that I wanted to back. So I moved my turret to the other side. I probably should have put it a little more out, but you can really control the flow of your lane. You can decide how far creeps can get by putting your turrets defensively, and I keep juggling them from side to side just to keep their health up, just to keep the enemy from getting too comfortable. Let's see. Now, we're about to hit level 6. I already did. Cat's gonna hit level 6 in a bit. And once Cat hits level 6, she has a much stronger poke. And here we go. She's gonna come. I'm gonna poke her. She knows my Hex Tech rockets are down. She knows my turret is down. I could probably prop another one, but she doesn't know that for sure. She's gonna Shumpo onto me, ultimate, and I'm gonna waste my flash. I should have saved it, but I was just quick, not really thinking there, and I wanted to make sure she couldn't bully me out of lane. That's something you have to keep in mind about Heimerdinger. He doesn't have a lot of killing power early, especially against someone like Cat, who can just Shumpo away from him. There's not much I can do to secure a kill, so I really want to keep my CS up, especially because I'm so rusty. I'm only beating her by 11 CS. It's not a whole lot, and until I get a good gank, there's not much I can do, and I'm not going to get one, and that's not my jungler's fault. I'm so rusty, and I keep wasting my abilities here, that there's not much he can do. He tries here, he comes in, he bullies her out of lane. He's not even level 6 yet. Malphite's ganks pre-6 aren't that great. So, you know, he's giving me the chance to reset my lane, and that does help as a Heimerdinger player. If you're a jungler with a Heimerdinger, and you see your Heimer's pushed back to the turret and he doesn't want to be there, you can ask him, you know, go in, even if you can't secure a kill, help him reset the lane, because if Heimerdinger has control of the lane, he can keep farming no matter what. Once his turrets get a little stronger, he can CS from anywhere, and the thing you have to realize is when you rank your turrets up, they don't improve on the map. You know, you can only upgrade your turrets by placing new ones, and I back because I didn't have any HP. Cat did finally bully me out of lane, and I go straight for Sork Boots. Probably not the best option, but I do it. Someone like Katarina really capitalizes on mobility. She relies on the ability to go in and out and poke, and I'm actually using my Cat rune page because it was the closest thing I had for Heimerdinger. So I do have a decent little bit of speed, even though Heimerdinger's atrociously slow. I can use these Sork Boots to get around a little more. It's going to help me CS more with my turrets, and my poke is going to be all that more potent. After this, I'm going to start building a death cap, because Heimerdinger really isn't scary until you get pure raw damage on him. He has nothing else. He has a stun, a slow, and a blind, none of which are very reliable, and they all require your enemy to get on top of you. And look at that. What you want to do is whenever there's no creeps around, you want to stay on the very outskirts of your W range. And what I do here is stupid. I check the brush and I hide in there. And I do want to go steal enemy wraiths, and this is something you should be doing all the time as Heimer. Once you can get it, you just drop a turret, and once it's strong enough, it'll take care of wraith camp by itself. And Cat pushes herself into my tower, which puts her in a bad place. She probably could have done a lot more damage to me. Warwick, actually, this is funny. We're going to ignore my lane for a second. I popped the ult on the turret, and I nearly killed Warwick just with my turret alone. If I had timed that a little bit better, I probably could have forced him to back. I don't know if I did. So again, I'm here, I'm just CSing. Nothing's really going on. And this is why it's hard to gank for Heimerdinger. I wasted my W, I think, and I did have flash up, but I didn't want to burn it. And I couldn't get past my creeps, and she just walks away. Especially as Katarina, she just has the mobility to not care about ganks. So I'm going back, I'm farming, I've still got 11 CS on her. It's not as good as it should be, and I don't do enough damage yet, so I just gotta focus on my farm. That's what my mindset here was, and I'm trying to poke her whenever I can. Not too much going on. My team wants to do Dragon. There's not much I can do to help right now. Heimerdinger is actually very good at Dragon once he gets his ability power up, because his turrets will just wreck it. Same with Baron. But before he can do anything, there's not much I can do. It's not a good time to do Dragon. I kind of ignore my team. I tell them I'm not ready. You know, I need to stay in lane. I need to keep farming, because I don't have any kills. I don't have any assists. Thankfully, I've been keeping Cat busy, and she doesn't have anything either. It's 12 minutes in, and all she has is 2 amplifying tomes and her boots 1. You know, she doesn't even have her first item. She doesn't have Sork Boots. She doesn't have a Cage's Lucky Pick. She doesn't have a Hextech Revolver, whatever she's going to build. I've just been denying her as much CS as I can. without pushing my lane out, and that's something very hard to do that I need to get better at. And like I said, I haven't played Heimerdinger in a very long time, and I don't play ranked. So right now, at this point in the game, Cat is definitely stronger than me. She's been out-trading me, out-harassing me. Lee Sin actually comes in to try and gank, but he tower dives for it. I burn a flash that I really shouldn't have. I could have walked out of there alive, but it's fine. I made them blow a lot of stuff. She blew her ult. It was definitely not a good trade, but at least I didn't die. You know, I'm just going back to farming. I haven't been dropping turrets at Wraith as much as I should. Malphite comes in, he does no damage to Cat whatsoever. It was not for me, I don't think, that Soraka ult, but it definitely does help keep me in lane. Any kind of sustain you can get as Heimer is very, very nice. So again, that's why, right there, Cat tried to jump onto me and just do a quick harass combo, and my turret mauled her. I'm in a very stupid spot here, and thankfully nothing goes wrong. I drop a second turret, and the whole reason for this is now this lane is locked. Creeps cannot push past this point. No one can do anything unless they commit to taking down these turrets. I kind of want to see if I can stick here and scare Warwick away from getting any of the CS. I do succeed a little bit, and once I have my 2 turrets up, I can just go back. I buy my needlessly large rod, a couple more health potions, because she was really, really out harassing me, and a ward or 2. I believe I only just got the 1. So she takes out my turrets, but she missed a lot of farm. She's actually, I am still well ahead of her, and I keep putting my turrets defensively, even at this point in the game. And here I do something stupid. I don't get punished for it, thankfully, but I didn't know where their jungler was. I didn't know where their top was. Thankfully they were both top. Unfortunately my ally got killed, and I'm still not that scary, but I wanted that warded. You know, I want to keep myself safe. I have no escapes, and I don't know how many times I can say that before it gets irritating. Heimerdinger has no escapes. The only thing he has that even resembles an escape is if he can hit people with his turret slows, and if they're already in your turrets and your turrets are enough of a nuisance, then it doesn't matter. And his E, if you manage to hit them with the stun, but it's not very reliable, especially against anybody with a dash or a blink or any kind of move speed buff or a steroid. So Heimerdinger has to play it safe, and over here I see my enemies are trying to steal Wraiths. Malphite does manage to pick off the enemy Warwick. I kind of tried to hope that Lee Sin was going to go towards his Cat, and I threw my grenade that way, but he didn't, so we chased him up top. I still don't do enough damage, and there's no way I can tower dive this. I have nothing I can give here, and I probably should have stayed, but I knew that between Jax's leap and Malphite's shard, they would have had it covered. My Malphite does offer me blue, but he's nowhere around, and I don't think I was quite strong enough. I probably would have been, but I see Cat in mid, and I really don't want to lose out on farm, because that's the big thing for me right now is farm. I have my turrets up, and what am I doing? I'm wasting forever. I actually popped my ult to keep her held up for a bit. Malphite finally comes, and he's offering me blue, but I see Cats at my turret. There's not much I can do. I tell him to start it. I peel her off. I drop a turret, and once I drop a turret, there we go. Once that turret's down, I feel a little safer to leave. It's gonna clear up the minions. It's gonna keep Cat off. I have AoE turrets right now. I get my blue. Blue is a big deal for Heimerdinger. If you're a jungler, please give your Heimer blue. He is so mana starved. He is probably the most mana starved champion that I own. Not that I own that many champions yet, but now my ward is dead. I feel a little unsecure. I don't have any turrets up. I probably should. I don't know why I don't. Lee Sin comes in and doesn't really do anything. Cat's there. I want my turrets. I want my safe zone. So I get that up. I keep CSing. Not much is happening. Again, Heimer's a very, very boring champion, honestly, but he can control everything. I know my jungler has River. I don't have wards. This is probably not the safest thing, being positioned like this. My whole bottom area is unguarded. If anyone came out from there, my only option would have been to pop my ult and go up. But even still, it's not the worst I could have been. So I keep my turrets up, and you gotta remember that you can control the flow of the lane. Heimerdinger really sets the front, and there aren't many champs who can keep up with that. Now, bot Caitlyn and Lee Sin do come up and they try to gank me, and we were fighting an AP Caitlyn. She's not gonna hit as hard with her auto attack, but her traps are very, very potent, so I'm careful not to step on any of them while they're around, because that can easily force me out of lane, and you're gonna see just what kind of damage they can do later. Okay, now something bad is coming up here very soon, I believe. I've only watched this replay. Yeah, look at that. Look at how much health I'm down just from those traps. Now I'm already in a bad way. I'm at about half health, and I popped these health potions that I've still had. That they're starting to become a little less than useful. The game's getting into a later phase, but Graves and Soraka are coming up. You know, they probably should be farming their lane. Malphite goes in and gets himself killed. Kate had like no health, but I didn't have my Q. I didn't have my W. I didn't have anything I felt safe. Heimerdinger, at least at this point for me, I wasn't confident to tower dive, because he was already out of tower range. I probably, in hindsight, could have dropped a tower, flashed in, W'd. There are a lot of things I could have done better, and I got my teammate killed, but it was not a good place for me. Heimerdinger is not a very secure diver. He has to blow a summoner spell to do it, unless you have minions at your tower. So now we've got a 3v2 in mid. I don't really need them here. Heimerdinger can hold his own, but whatever. They're pushed their tower. I think they were just looking to keep me safe. I don't know. The mana from Soraka was appreciated though. So we kind of got our little standoff here. That's another thing you have to do as Heimerdinger. Whenever you don't have minions, I've mentioned it before. Whenever you don't have minions between you and your enemy. Oh, here, this is what I was mentioning. Graves goes right into this bush. He was going to go steal red, and we didn't have any vision. And I desperately wanted to save him, but I get ulted, and I just get completely destroyed, and it was terrible. So yeah, if your allies do something stupid, it's not always a good idea to capitalize on it, because we got 2 kills for them. It was a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 exchange, and we lost the turret. It was not good, so we're in a bad way, but at the same time, I get my hat. Look at how much damage I do to Caitlyn with just a single Q. So now I've got my death cap, I've got my blasting wand. I think I was going to build up into either an abyssal or a void staff. I hadn't decided yet. And you notice I put my turret next to Caitlyn's trap. I don't want to step on it, because that'll stun me, that'll keep me exposed, and it'll do a ton of damage to me. So I was a little bit worried about that, so I just put that there so that when one of my teammates did pop it for me, or when I knew that the enemy wasn't nearby, they would be a little safer. Malphite gives me another blue, because Heimerdinger needs that blue. So we're kind of just, I pop my ult a little bit prematurely. It doesn't really catch anyone, but I create this barrier. And again, Heimerdinger can close off areas, he can keep things safe. His turrets decide where the battlefront is. They're not as big as real turrets, but you should not underestimate them. Now at this point I've got ridiculous amounts of CDR thanks to my ult and thanks to blue. I don't even need to build cooldown reduction on him. Honestly, cooldown reduction would kinda just be wasted, but I can pop my turrets down pretty much whenever I please. So here we're just getting pushed back into our turret. I think my team at this point didn't feel very secure. Jax was fed, but he was really the only one on our team. I have a lot of CS over Cat, but not as much as I would have liked. We go in, we pick off Lee Sin, and as Heimerdinger, your job in team fights is really just to be a constant source of poke and to just keep your teammates safe while keeping your enemies scared. If anyone makes a bad move, you have to capitalize on it. You have to know. You know, I make some mistakes here. I waste some abilities on creeps. Your rockets are going to be doing a ton of damage. So especially right here, they don't have any creeps. Whenever I can walk up to them and press W, you can't cast it unless you're near an enemy. That's what you gotta do. Just keep walking up to them. I force Caitlyn to back just by this, and I keep doing it. I throw my abilities in. Now let's speed it up here, because that's pretty much all that happens for the rest of the game, is we keep trading. And I keep just going up to them. I let my turrets take care of the minions. I go in with my rockets and I push them down. Caitlyn tries to come from the side, but she's AP, she can't do anything. You know, they would have been better sending Lee Sin or Warwick, someone who could actually have initiated. And it doesn't change anything. You know, I keep just putting my turrets down, keeping them healthy. We almost get Caitlyn, but it's fine, she can't do anything anymore. Malphite actually goes in and picks up the kill. I go in to put down a turret, and I probably should have stuck in more, but my W was on cooldown. I didn't feel safe. In hindsight, I should have stayed in there. I probably could have picked up another kill, but I wanted to keep myself safe, because the second I go down, my turrets go down, and the enemy is no longer pinned in. That's my fear here, is dying. We should have moved back a little faster. I don't know what else I could have done to keep Soraka from dying there. Again, my reaction time was low. If I had popped a Q on Cat, she would have been dead. But whatever, at this point, how much gold did I have? I had almost 2,000 gold. I go back and I finish my Void Staff. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten an Abyssal Scepter, but we already had one on our team, and I needed to pick something up. And I'm staying at base for a very long time. I pick up a Sapphire Crystal and a Ward. That extra mana never hurts, and I was probably going to build it up into something. Over here, I see Caitlyn and Cat coming up to try and flank us, and I just want to deprive them of that. Heimerdinger, even without his turrets, with his rockets, with his grenade, he has very good zone control, and he can keep people scared. Just look at how much I chunked her down just by looking at her, and we probably do chase her too far. We didn't really know where everyone was. I actually felt that I went into the little alcove. I wanted to throw my grenade over the side. Stun Cat out of her ult. Keep dropping turrets. I just try to lay down as much damage as I possibly can while keeping myself safe. I never want to be in a position where they can hit me. I want them to think they can hit me and to dedicate time to trying to get to me, but never be able to do it. So we're back to where we were before, only I'm a lot stronger now, and they can't stop us from taking this turret. We knock it down. We take down Warwick. We lose Jax, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing Nautilus can do. We take this turret down, and we don't get out. We keep feeling like we can push this, but they're all about to be up. We don't have Jax. Most of our tank is gone. I tell my teammates to get out. I come over here and I start to try and take their blue. I probably should have stuck with my team. Because I didn't, Soraka died, but I don't know if there was anything I could have done. Heimerdinger is one of the slowest champs, and I would have just gotten myself caught. We don't lose this turret. Graves is decently fed at this point. Not really, honestly. But for some reason they're scared of him. They don't want to dive it. They don't have any minions. So I don't know if I buy anything. I build up into a Sapphire, or a Tear of the Goddess. I don't think that goes anywhere, but I didn't really know what to do with my money at this point. I was already hurting like a truck. You know, even the enemy team, they're targeting me. They know that I need to die, but I just don't give them the opportunity. Or ults onto me, and that's just bad for him. He doesn't do enough damage. You know, we did check this brush again. It probably wasn't the safest, but we knew most of their team was up there. They're down 1, so it would have been a 4v5, and we can keep putting pressure on them. We just do a lot of damage. We push them back into their base, and they kind of just admit that that's all there is to it. And I can't fast forward anymore. That's weird. There we go. They just surrendered there because I didn't die. I had 1 death that whole game. I wasn't even that fed. I was 316 with 236 CS. It wasn't exactly good, but I hope that gave you an idea of how to play Heimerdinger, what you should do in lane. Just to go over it all again, your idea is not to be a kill monster. You just don't want to die. You want to control the flow of battle and keep it so that your teammates always feel safe and your enemies never feel like they can engage on you. Likewise, this wasn't my best game, and the enemy made a lot of mistakes by letting me poke them perpetually with my W when we were under their turret. So I also hope this shows you what not to do if you do get counterpicked by a Heimerdinger. That's all for now, so this was Wardrake signing off. I hope everyone takes care.